everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to do a basic crochet 101 video. If you have any questions, you can leave it down below and I can answer them specifically, but this is just gonna cover the basics of crochet, what supplies you need to get started, and where to start pretty much. I'm ADHD Elvis and I've had this YouTube channel since 2010, and I actually haven't done a single crochet video. I started crocheting when I was 11 and I've been crocheting ever since then, so that was about 24 years ago. So I know a little bit about crochet, but I am still learning as well. Different patterns come out every day and various different new techniques and things like that, so you're always learning when it comes to these type of crafts, but I'm happy to teach what I already know. Okay, so first of all, if you're interested in learning how to crochet, fantastic, welcome to the crochet world. There are some supplies that you will need, obviously, to get started and to practice. I wouldn't jump into a particular pattern at first. I would just practice various stitch types and with your gauge and your tension and things like that, which we can talk about those in a little bit. But mainly for supplies, you will need yarn. You need scissors or some type of snippers, and these are called darning needles or tapestry needles. You can get the ones with the point like that, which is a bit more easier to maneuver when you're weaving your ends, and they also come with like these straight needles as well. These are blunt needles, they're not sharp, and they usually have a bigger eye to put thicker yarn in. And you will also need some stitch markers. There are various types of stitch markers. There are these plastic ones that you can lock in, and there are these metal ones that you can just sort of like spiral into it and then it'll hang on there. There are other types of stitch markers as well. I do also have a measuring tape for any measurements. That's more related to when you're doing different patterns. And sometimes I keep one of these handy. This is a needle threader. So it helps you get thicker yarn into your needle without a hassle. So if you want those. But yeah, and the other things you need are crochet hooks. Now, crochet hooks come in different sizes. Let me just get set up over here. Crochet hooks come in different sizes and different materials. You would see something like this or a aluminium colored one in like your local craft store. And these are good for beginners. This is a 6mm. You can always see the size of them right there. It says 6mm. Each yarn corresponds with the needle. Usually the yarn manufacturers, they'll tell you what size of yarn, what size of needle that will be good to use. Like in this particular one, it says this is for double knitting. It says to use 9mm or 13 size US, and they usually have your gauge as well for different patterns. Sometimes on yarn they will also put crochet hook sizes as well. This one says 5mm. So and then the knitting one, double knitting, they say 4.5. Now crochet hooks, this is good to start with. This kind of a set, you could buy them in a set, but if you are crocheting for a long time, it can really, you can feel it in your wrist and your fingers when you use something like this. You can use these little foam attachments where you can slide it in, and then that helps your grip a little bit better. It's very ergonomic. If you plan to use these kind of needles, might as well pick some of these up, like especially for thinner needles. This is a 2mm needle, and you can imagine just working with that for a long time, because crochet takes a long time to do, especially when you're a beginner. So it would be handy to get those. These needles are cheap. A set of these needles are cheap, but yeah, long term they're not so good. My preferred ones are these ones that are ergonomically friendly, which are a bit expensive. It has the aluminium or steel needle on the top, and they come in various different sizes and various different styles and colors, and it usually says what size the needles are. And these bits are made out of silicone, and it's very nice on your hand. So those are my preferred ones. They also come in a set, or you can buy them individually as well. I usually use 5mm and 4mm a lot, so sometimes they get the most wear and tear. So this one I bought individually for a couple of bucks on Shein or Temu or whatever, and it is really cute. You can get really cute design ones. The other one is the plastic ones. So the needle itself is metal, and then the handle is plastic. You can get those ones as well. And then they also sell bamboo ones. So these are bamboo. I personally don't like bamboo ones because the needle hook is very shallow. If you compare the metal one, you can see the hook is very deep, and then the bamboo one, the hook is shallow, which is very annoying. The yarn doesn't really hook onto it, and it can be difficult to work with. But I do have a set of that as well. When I bought it years and years ago. But those are the crochet hooks, and some other things that you might need are a pen and a book, like some sort of a notebook to write your crochet details and do some crochet mats. Sometimes they come in handy. And I think that's basically it. Let's talk about different types of yarn. Now, there are so much variety when it comes to yarn. This is just a little bit from my stash. I have probably over 100 skeins of yarns, but one of these is called a skein. A ball of these yarn is called a skein, and then they come with different yarns that you can find. Yarn cakes. This could be a cake, but so yarn cakes are sort of like flat and round, and then skeins are like this shape. And then they also come with yarn hanks, which are like long but twisted together. Yarn cakes are the preferable way for me, because it can do a center pull, and then it keeps unraveling in a way where it doesn't like toss and turn like this when you're working, which can be quite annoying sometimes. Now, yarn comes in different sizes. Now, this may depend on where you live in the world. I live in Australia, so we go by 2-ply, 3-ply, 4-ply, up to like 12, 14-ply. And if you look at a yarn ball, it will tell you all the details over here. This one's from Kmart, and this is a specialty velvet yarn, so this is a different case. But this is an American yarn. This is sugar and cream. This is 100% cotton. Now, if you look at the back, it says all the details. Now, the standard sizes you can see, this one says medium size. So this is, I think they call it Aran weight or worsted weight in America, but in Australia this one would be probably 10 plies, because it's very thick compared to this. This is the double knitting weight is what we call 8-ply, which is the standard sort of yarn that you would find in Australia. But yeah, I will provide a link to a conversion chart or of yarn weights and what you can use each yarn type for. So this one is what the thinnest one you would find is lace yarn, which is, this is crochet cotton. This is not the thinnest. This is about a 3-ply. You could find something thinner than this as well. I think this yarn is probably called, this thickness is called sport weight in America. And this one is, again, would be a thicker sort of Aran worsted weight yarn. I would call this a 10-ply in Australia. Same with this one. This one is, again, size 5, as you can see. And yeah, it also, the label also says if the yarn can be machine washed or tumble dried. Now this one is machine washable and tumble dried, which is preferable, but it's also 100% acrylic. So most of the yarn you find in the market are 100% acrylic or 100% cotton, or there are merino, there are cotton. So there are yarn that's made out of wool, yarn made out of plant material like linen, and or you could find yarn that is made out of a blend of materials such as cotton and acrylic together, or acrylic and nylon together. So different yarn has a different purpose. Particularly, you wouldn't use this type of yarn for like a baby booty, because it's thick, it's a velvet, and it's not preferable for that. So something like this I would use for baby stuff. It also says hypoallergenic and baby yarn, so I would use something thinner, has a lot more drape and comfortable to wear for a child. This type of yarn, which is 12-ply, so it is, I think it recommends a 5.5 needle size. This is like the Aran weight. I would say a size 5 yarn. This is good for a variety of things, and you can feel it's soft. So you could do a lot with the yarn like this. You also need to pay attention to how many grams you're getting. So this particular yarn, it says you get 100 grams. A lot of cotton yarn come with less weight. So this one's 56.7 grams. But then you should also look for how many yards or meters per skein, because we usually, when we do a project, when we crochet something, we sort of look at how many meters we would need for that particular project, or how much weight of a yarn that we would need. Usually a pattern would tell you this much meterage was used, this much weight was used. Depending on that, you can pick out how many balls of yarns or skeins of yarns that you will need. That is it for this introduction about crochet. In my next video, I will introduce you to the basic stitches and things like that, and I hope you look out for that. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and press the bell icon for notifications. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I can't cover pretty much everything. I hope I covered the most basics. But yeah, if you have questions, that will help me answer in future content as well. But yeah, if you have any questions and comments, just leave it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.